want the tail to play with me, but let me seriously, this thing is just spinning its wheels. Like seriously, you really need to be careful with this car. Another hot day. Hey guys, welcome to the channel. It's Boy, and I appreciate that you're here with me today. Look, it's something familiar on the channel, of course. This is the Tiggo 8 Pro, but this is the Max. Because when we covered the Max on this channel, we covered the recently updated one, the facelift one, and I showed you all the details around it, what's new, what's not new, and everything else. So this one is a pre-facelift one, but the engine is the same. 2-liter turbocharged, 187 kilowatts, 390 Newton meters of torque. And that's the focus of today. I want us to just drive it because on this channel, we never drove the Tiggo 8 Pro Max. And what I like about this particular one is that they sent it to us after it has done over 11,000 kilometers. And that means we have to see how this performs as a demo, how does it hold up, and whether you should rather get this over the facelift one, because the facelift one is coming in at around 669,000, somewhere there. And this one, if you get it with these kilometers around 11,000, you're likely going to spend just around 550,000 and above. And I think it might be a steal, but to see that, we have to talk about it on the road. Let's go. Yo guys, after all the dirt on gravel, it was not gonna work. We thought, no, we need to get this car washed before we actually continue with the review and so on. So yeah, it took some time, and you can see that now it's actually like very late, but we're still gonna talk about this. I mean, I know that some of you would have thought by now that this guy promised that he's gonna bring another review on the car because he was just covering the gravel the last time. But yeah, it's here now. We're here, we're on the road. We're going to talk about the experience and also just reflect a bit on the experience we had on gravel, because we kept pondering on the fact that it's a little bit slippery because there's just a lot of power going to the front wheels. And yes, I'm glad that now they're bringing the all-wheel drive of the Tiggo 8 Pro Max. I mean, that's interesting, especially considering that, I mean, this is just a powerful car, and you really need to hold on to the steering wheel, especially if you are putting your foot down and you're trying to move as quickly as possible from standstill. You almost always guaranteed that you're going to get the wheel spin. And even on tar road like this, you need to be a little bit careful, especially if you're moving from standstill. But when you're already on the move and seamlessly feeding in the power and so on, it's manageable. You can feel that it's quite powerful, but it's not something that you need to be scared of when you're driving it or anything like that. Even for someone who doesn't love speed, but they appreciate the fact that they're driving a powerful car, it won't scare you when you're putting your foot down, just that you will feel that it's powerful. I mean, 187 kilowatts, it's never nothing. It's a lot of power, and that's something that you always need to understand. And as well, because this car is quite big and it's heavy, it's not like when you're thinking about it, you'll be thinking that, oh wow, this is like performance figures and I'm going to feel like it. And especially because the exhaust at the back as well, they're not bringing out the sound. Yes, there is some noise that is coming when you are putting your foot down. It's not that performance sound, because it can scare other people depending on whether you're used to actually driving a car that does like a lot of noise and so on. It's manageable. You can literally live with this car every day and not find yourself panicking about how powerful it is, how quickly it moves and so on. You just need to know that you're driving a powerful car, because if you really want to chase a car that's in front of you, it's very easy to catch up. That's something that I appreciate about this engine. It's very easy to catch up, and the marriage as well together with the transmission, I'm not finding it to be, I don't have things that I can say, oh, this is so amazing that I need to mention, or this is so worse that I need to mention. It's just well paired. It manages to change when it needs to change. It doesn't just change up and down unnecessarily. That's something that I appreciate about it, because it has enough power to just push you at any gear that it is. This 7-speed DCT, I don't have a problem with it. By now someone's asking themselves, but dude, why are you talking as if you're talking about some Lamborghini in the rain, we can't control it and so on and so on? No, hear me out. Look, there's a lot of you out there who know how to drive. You don't have a problem with whether you're driving 500 kilowatts, whatever that may be. I'm talking to people that can access this car as they've been accessing a lot of cars at this price point. And that's a very important factor, because Initially in South Africa, to get something as close to 200 kilowatts, you probably had to pay more than 1.2 million or whatever. But right now, we are talking about a car that, especially this particular one that we're in right now, you can literally find it for close to 550,000 rands. That's a big statement, because there's a lot of power, a lot of responsibility in your hands as well. That means anyone who could have bought any other small SUV for around 500,000 can literally jump into this car, enjoy it, and say, I'm going to buy it. So those cars are coming at around 90 kilowatts, 85 kilowatts. Some of them are way more expensive than this, and they don't even have the power figures that this car has. And the price point of this car is bringing a good question for me, because I kept thinking, this is a pre-facelift. And when I'm looking at it, looking at what it offers, I mean, this car is packed with features, guys. I think we spoke about this before when this Chery Tiggo 8 Pro came out, and then when we drove it, and then when I shared the Tiggo 8 Pro Max in terms of the new one, facelift, everything. I've done that already. But I just need to remind you that this car is packed with features. From what it looks like right now, this is not the best that they offer, I know, because the current one, when it comes to the design, especially the interior design, they've done a brilliant job. And I understand that it's not everyone would be fond of that new design, especially the curved screen, the new one, together with the brown interior and everything else that they bring in there. It looks amazing. I would love it, but I can't discredit that this interior is not outdated at the moment, because it surpasses a lot of cars, especially at this price point. And when I looked at the pricing, as I mentioned earlier in the intro, that one is coming at close to 700,000. And this one, right now, you can get a demo like this that has done just over 10,000 kilometers, around 15,000 kilometers, or should I call it a second hand rather. You probably going to save more than 100,000 probably if you get it for 550. I mean, that's a lot of saving, and it's packed with features. It has almost everything that the new one offers, but the difference is that it's not the shiniest. But here's the thing. If you are the kind of a person who says every time they release a new phone, for example, Samsung S24, and you just bought S23 last year, you're like, I'm going to get a new one. Maybe then you should look at the current one, the facelift as we call it, together with the shiny stuff, the interior, the exterior, and everything. But if you're the kind of a person who looks at these things and wonder, you know what, I just bought S23, what's really going to be the difference between the two? Is it going to be major or not? Because they will tweak here and there. Of course, they will try and bring you in by just changing this and that. But when I look at them overall, I don't think there are major differences that will say someone who bought this one and saved such a huge, or should I say large? It's large, eh? Large sum of money, and you're thinking, I lost. I don't think you lost anything, because it still looks amazing. It still pretty much offers everything that you're going to find in the other one. Just that, of course, when you look at it, probably in the next 3 years, 4 years, you're going to feel like, yeah, you know what, this interior maybe it's outdated, but currently I don't think it's like that. But now that we've cleared that, we can agree that that new one actually looks amazing. I mean, that rear tail light, the light bar, I mean, the 19-inch rims, yeah, they do actually bring some element of niceness. And I agree that I wouldn't blame anyone to think that, okay, you know what, maybe I can go for it if you are buying right now. But if you don't have the extra 100k and you feel like you're over pushing it, I don't think you're losing much. This is pretty much still amazing, from the tech, the transmission, the engine, everything. Basically, it's still topping out some of the competition. And when I just look at it, yeah, it still offers a lot more. It has a lot more tech. I mean, this car, practicality wise, I can't even repeat all the other stuff that I've said before. It offers so much more. I mean, this is a 7-seater. You still get it for less than 600, especially this one. If you want brand new, you're probably going to get it for around 598,000 or so. Yeah, but because it's a big car and it's a big engine, the fuel consumption, guys, when I live with this car, yeah, the fuel consumption in here, it's not going to be the cheapest cars to run on the road every day. Maybe someone who owns this can tell me, because yeah, I didn't get a lot of kilometers on the full tank. I mean, I think the lowest average I've seen of the screen was like 10.9 liters to 100, but overall I've been just early 11s, 11.2, 11.6 to the 100, and yeah, that's quite a lot. I mean, I don't think I got more than 300 kilometers from around probably 80% of the tank. Yes, I didn't refuel when it was empty. I went in probably when it was left with around just below the last quarter, because I don't wait for the car to be empty completely before I go to the fuel station. But otherwise, it's because I was doing short distances, and the way I was testing it as well, I really was feeling that this car is powerful and I was enjoying it. So from that element, I think someone who drives it normally every day and they're just on eco or normal, I don't think it's going to be like that. But I think the best that you're probably going to get is around 9 liters to the 100. Unless if you're very conservative and a calm driver who doesn't rush everywhere they go, maybe you can achieve around 8. I don't know if you can see below 8, but yeah, maybe you can do that. But otherwise, this car overall, hey, yeah, no, it doesn't matter how many times I see it. This is just a beautiful car, man. Chery has done a great job in designing this car. The proportions, especially for a 7-seater, from the side, the rear, the front. You know, this car, you look at it from the rear view mirror, you look at it when it's passing you, and you look at it when it's ahead of you, and you're like, yeah, they've done a great job. For me, it charms me almost every time I see this car. And to be in it like this and still enjoy it, it's quite amazing that they've done such a great job. I mean, you can live with this car easily every day. In terms of driving it, the vision, just the comfort and everything else, you get that. Yes, there's tiny little pieces of comfort that I would have loved, especially when you are hitting like the hard bumps, or you're going into these small potholes and so on. You do get some crash and bangs a bit. It's not that much. It's acceptable, especially for the price point as well. But at the same time, because you know what they can do, you want more from them, and just a little rough around the edges, then they can complete that comfort that I'm looking for. But otherwise, I'm just nitpicking here, because I mean, this car is one of the best things you can get, especially for what they're asking from you. Even at the Tiggo Pro Max, the facelift, you're still getting a whole lot of car for the price that they're asking. So from my side, I think they've done a great job. Overall, what a wonderful car this is. I think I can't even say, if you're looking for a 7-seater, or if you're looking for an SUV for that matter, I can't even say you shouldn't consider it, because there's just a lot. There's just a lot you're going to enjoy with this car. Yo! Okay, I needed to focus there a bit. Otherwise, guys, if you're looking for this, I don't think the pre-facelift is going to stick around for long. So maybe you should just go and just look for it. And yeah, it's going to come with the 7-year or 90,000 service plan, 5-year, 150,000 warranty. But you know, with Chery, when it comes to the first owner, there's still that 1 million kilometer or 10-year engine warranty. I think there is nothing else that can beat that. With that said, thank you so much for being here with me today. Really appreciate it. Till next time, I am out.